Does he still love you, or is he seeking tranquility? Please follow your intuition and choose one from the following 2 cards for a detailed explanation. First of all, the buddies who were drawn to the first group got the Lover card's reverse tail, the political commissar during the time of power, the 7th ranked political commissar, and the 2nd ranked political commissar. The tarot was divided by 8, and the political commissar who hijacked the card must be very in love, but with the current trend, I think it's very likely that you're the kind who don't communicate at all, and there won't be any turning point. If you just want to reconcile, you must be serious.
Thank you,
really listen to what my fans say. You must realize that the other person is also very important. What's painful is that the other person will also be under pressure. So the first thing in love is that you love him and he loves you. Just 2 words. You have to fight, and then you will think about some things that have not happened in the future, and then shed your tears. Look at the other side. They are fully committed now. They have their own things to deal with, work or family life. And then I think it's just to save the other party. I said that it's actually quite hard to get to this stage, and it's not easy. He also has his own difficulties and pressures. He has his own considerations. And then his life, his friends, his life path. You've put so much things, all the pressure is on her. If you want to reconcile, viewed objectively to clarify the relationship between the 2, they must realize that the other person is also human and is very fragile. You have actually burdened him with many things he should not have had to bear. If you understand, you can give me feedback in the comment area. If you don't understand, you can go to the analysis group to find a teacher to get further. Then the emotional trend between you 2. He is in a very confused state over there, and he doesn't know what to do. So you first look at what your situation is. It's a full defense, or you want to find a new love. Pondering whether you could meet a better person. You are afraid to lose and don't want to lose. I think both of you. I want to be with the other person again. Keep going well for a lifetime, and then you will think about some of the problems between you 2 before, such as quarrels or the advice given by friends around you, or the practical problems you 2 face, and then be afraid. I want to exit quickly, and now you see your side. It is a state of eagerness to break free. I think you must also hate this state of yourself. You really hate this feeling of yourself. Or are you eager to move on quickly and find new joy? If you are not so sure about the other person, you actually have left a way out for yourself. Since it is this state, why should you demand the other person to be wholeheartedly towards you, right? The other party also needs to give themselves. You guys have a fallback plan, right? And what's your endgame strategy? It's very important. I feel that the 2 people are stubborn and suffer. Absolutely do not find each other. If you do not come to find me, I will not find you. Or I have already found you. I have looked for you so many times and gave you so many steps. You're not stupid, I will never let you go in the future. But in your heart, you're always thinking about the other party saying, please take the initiative to find me, quickly come and find me. So the second point is, the other person clearly still loves you. You must be sure of this, just as I just mentioned. He's very confused. And some things that happened between the 2 of you actually caused harm to each other. That is to say, scared to invest in this relationship again, the 2 of you torturing each other, I'm afraid it's not good. So the third point is that I care more about you taking the initiative. If you say you have been frequently in the past, but if the other party still has no response, I suggest you directly go into the fan group to find the teacher to help you see the details and strategies of a compound, to see where the problem lies, where you can start to solve it better. And what can be confirmed is that there must be other epidemics around him now. This epidemic is not necessarily... It's possible that you knew each other before, but I don't think he's fully committed. In the process of getting along with the new love, because he is now in a state of confusion and hesitation, that means he doesn't know how to choose, and like you, and then afraid to be with you, will become protector. It's all inexplicable. If you haven't been reaching out to him frequently before, then I think you can send him a message. If you're afraid he might have something new, it's okay. The message I sent him wasn't that I was losing face. If you want to know his precise thoughts on you, you might even be hoping he'll come. If you still have such thoughts, you must take a look at the details between you and your ex. You two, looking at this card surface now, if any measures are taken, the two of you are likely to have misunderstandings that cannot be resolved. There's a good chance we won't see each other or anything in the future. There will be more emotional flexibility, but actually still thinking about the other person in the heart. You may regret it in 5, 8, or 10 years. Whenever I think about it, I feel there's no need for it. I think we should seize the moment and be brave. Our tarot friends for this issue, the account you received is the Star card.
Upright. Victory 2's upright.
Secrets of the Want period. In your heart, it's full of affection. The lawmakers of the Rod and the Queen. So first of all, you can definitely feel the possibility of the other person actively looking for you. That is to say, you need to have a little more confidence in your relationship. I think it can quickly enter into a good direction. This possibility is very large. Why do I say that? Because you must seize the Holy Grail, this guide, to welcome the good news of this great reunion. First, let's talk about the fact that Heart's Ocean actually heralds this relationship. It might be that there's a long-distance issue between you two. The problem of medical country or the obstacles of reality, so it feels that hope is very slim. But in his heart, he still leans towards you because you can give him... There's a feeling that's coming, but there are still some issues on this board. If you're looking for a means, it's that you may not be able to persist. And maybe you have always wanted to find the other party. Some people should have already found the other party. You're not necessarily looking for a clear answer, more like you have so many thoughts inside you and you are looking for an opportunity and a way to vent. And basically, both of you. I think it means the other person. Will he take the initiative to find me? Will he want to reconcile with me voluntarily? That is to say, there are contradictions between you two.
Or you two have had some quarrels or hurt each other to an extent that it's too much. So it leads to a state of exhaustion for you. You have persisted, you have not given up, and you have waited for him. It's a state filled with frustration and regret if it truly matches your current situation. You can give me accurate feedback because the other party's thoughts and future development will be very accurate for you. So in the other party's thoughts, first of all, he asks you, what is your idea on a Thursday reverse track? So you need to understand it. He definitely has the idea of giving up. It's not to say that 100% of the challenges are firm choices, and he will also make comparisons. Either you let it go or just forget it. So he also had this thought, but he found out about the feelings for a person, right? So he has hope for his feelings, but he might just be stuck on an idea. He hasn't made any substantial moves, but it's that kind of feeling. You might have, for example, encounters or some special ones. There will be some exchanges at work or some objective matters will cause the two of you to suddenly get in touch. Such a feeling will actually develop in a good direction. So how can you really develop in a good direction? You must listen carefully. Look at the last one that appears. You must be confident. So, when it comes to this disc, it's the state of you reconciling with your ex. You can't be crying too miserably while selling the disc. This thing doesn't make any sense. You have to be exceptionally beautiful or extraordinarily happy all the time. And the people who play this set of cards, some of them are quite dominant in their feelings. And when you're in front of him, I think there should be some possibilities. That is to say, I am for peace, for a better future. But in fact, you might feel that the tears are particularly big, so you must be aware of this. Overall, I think the possibility of reconciliation is still very high. What is the best time for you to specify the optimal combination, strategy, and action guidance? How can you actually take away the stable mix and solve the problem between you? Currently able to compound, the future can be smoother and sweeter. You can directly go into the fan group to find the teacher for detailed promotion. The third group of friends who draw lots, what you got is the Emperor card in the upright position, the reverse power of the Power card, as well as the reverse guard of the Queen, and the reverse of the Cup 4. These cards reverse power, and when emphasizing, friends who draw this set of cards mean the big state of the other party is an Emperor card. He might be more of a male chauvinist. a bit self-reliant, a bit face-saving, and then on your side, you see a power card's annoyance is this relationship. It's under this kind of competition, actually, the male energy is stronger side. In my opinion, it's quite normal that the love a girl can give is like taking care of the other person like a sister or a mother. Meanwhile, the other person is also a good person, constantly surrounded by romantic interests. Because I just don't know. Do you guys have any idea, or do you know if there are any newcomers? Based on what I see, I think you should feel a sense of crisis, because this person may not be by your side at any time. That is, what does he currently mean to you? No matter how the Treasure King's legislator talks or acts with you, don't care about her. The other party is definitely hiding something from you and has not told you their real thoughts. If there have been deceptions or concealments between you, you can comment deception below and let others know. You can also go to the comments section to see just how many people usually exist in such concealment and deception. This way, you will recognize the reality is whatever your current state is. A sword queen. You think I don't know what you've been thinking about recently? But I can only say, you are in a somewhat crazy state. I would think your thinking is quite chaotic. The mood is very volatile, and you've done or said something that is actually extremely exciting or infuriating for the other party. Your feelings are not quite right, but this relationship holds hope. He may feel that you really pushed him away, even though you hope he comes back. But in fact, what you say and do, your idea is completely inconsistent with theirs. If this is really the case, you must give me accurate feedback, because the following comments will be very important. What's the status with your ex? A sort of boredom like the Holy Grail. It's a sort of boredom like the Holy Grail. This symbolizes that for him, instead of re-engaging in this relationship, choosing a new one seems to have an advantage. More relaxed, more unobstructed, if you are now a desperate want to say compound, hoping he can come back, constantly sending him messages, constantly contacting him. This state, then I think it is for him. He will. There's a feeling of pressing down on the building knots. If you are currently in a complete cessation of communication, as I just said, he may choose new feelings. You are more relaxed for him. So he would choose something easier for him, and so on. And then, you see, he's got someone else now. He's moved on, and you don't want to accept it. Your previous actions only serve to jeopardize this relationship. The situation is likely to get worse, and there are no earth elements on the entire surface. It's highly possible there's pressure from relatives, or one of you is facing opposition from family or parents. Between these two people, one country, one emperor, and so on, or the age gap, the reality of the problem is especially big. The objective training environment is also not very good, and you will have a maneuver. Your secret, the other party might have been wholeheartedly nice to you before, but something happened later, so those previous beautiful moments slowly became a secret. So between the two of you, if it's not completely over, why is that? I would think this card, actually, there is a blood tie. That means he actually likes you, he loves you. There are a lot of thought elements, meaning that in the context of love, he will mix in some of his own thoughts, weighing pros and cons. Okay, if after hearing all this you're still not sure what his real thoughts are about you. Some people even clearly know the other party has related intentions, but still want to get back together. You can directly enter the fan group to find the teacher to look at a choice of two brands, to see in the other's eyes, are you important or are other people important, or who will he choose? A dispute in the later period. How are things going overall? If you still want to know his most precise thoughts about you, or even if you are still expecting a good future, can I find you? How can I? This is a voucher.